Okay. My name's Helen Mitchell and I'm the Associate Dean of the Cass School of Education and Communities at the University of East London. And I've come from London and I'm very honoured to be here in Hyderabad at the moment. Yes, we're very lucky to have been here with a group of my colleagues from the University of East London as a guest of the Deputy Commissioner of Talangor, and we've had the privilege of visiting some schools and some other institutions in the area, and we're here really to look at the ways in which our university can collaborate in providing educational opportunities for students in Hyderabad. And in my department we're looking at opportunities in the areas of education and schools, teacher training, social work and early childhood studies. We have teacher training and education programmes in all areas for early years, secondary school and higher education, and we have a very new programme which is for madrasa teachers, and it's very specifically about teaching techniques to enable people who teach in madrasas to raise the standards of their teaching practice, and we're very proud to be able to share that programme with people in Hyderabad and wider states.
Middle East, and she speaks very fluent Arabic. I have lived in Middle East for some time, but I've never seen anyone speaking in that, manner ever. It's so polite and so nice, usually when they speak Arabic, there's stress on the throat, but, just fantastic progress.
Good evening, and just the evening before we have our conference tomorrow, and we're very much looking forward to that. But before we get to the conference, we really want to highlight something very special, and that's fashion at UEL. So we've got a real treat in store for you, and lots of people, particularly our Dean, Simon Robert Shaw, and his team have worked very hard, so let's give them a round of applause as well. I also want to thank Janet Foxtrot, who represents us here in Hyderabad, for all her hard work and dedication to UEL. She's done a fantastic job helping us pull this evening together. And lastly, but not least, I want to thank all my colleagues from UEL, and particularly Kelvin Jones from the International Office and Felicia Warren from the Partnership Office. They've been just fantastic, and it's really just so much fun to be here in Hyderabad. It's really my favorite city in India, and it's just such a warm, exciting place to be, and we all feel just so privileged to get to have these precious days with you, and to really, celebrate UEL, celebrate the accomplishments of UEL. And UEL is really on the march up, and it's a lot to do with our colleagues, our programs in terms of their development, and also in terms of the university. So we're putting lots of investments into the campus. It's we have now really changed the makeup of the campus in terms of how we're doing things, and there's a lot of innovation, lots of technology that takes place. And tomorrow I think much of that insight, the real expertise that really makes UEL the university that it is. And we were very fortunate this past year to be able to celebrate research at UEL. And UEL came through a recent research exercise in the UK where it ranked in the top 5 modern universities in the UK. So we really are a special place. We're an extraordinary place. And what makes UEL extraordinary are all the people in this room. And so really that's what this evening is about. It's an opportunity to really celebrate our fantastic university, our fantastic alumni, and also those students from Hyderabad that will come in the future and who will really have life-changing experiences at this extraordinary university. So again, thank you so much for coming tonight. I want you to really enjoy the evening. I don't want you to feel bound by your table. I want you to move around. I want you to get to know every single person in this room, okay? So please don't walk out with at least, a half a dozen business cards of people you never knew before. So again, thank you so much.
We kept on saying one joke, which I would like to share with you. There was a lady who was traveling in a train, and a guy noticed she's wearing her wedding ring in the wrong finger. So he asked her, "Why are you wearing your wedding ring in the wrong finger?" So she said, "Because I married the wrong guy." So in Indian politics we say, if you select the wrong guy as your leader, you're going to suffer for a long time. So we are privileged to have a very dynamic entrepreneur who came back from US and made a multi-million empire into the IT industry. But just at the moment when his company at its peak, he decided he needs to do something for the country. And he started his own party, which is about clean politics without corruption and giving opportunity to young people who don't have money but who have passion to bring a change. So he started this movement which has become a major movement, and he is also responsible for the new capital which is coming in Andhra Pradesh. So please welcome Mr. Srikanth Palam Reddy, who is an entrepreneur, a politician, president of Janapalana Party. I've not called you yet though. But please. Okay. After him, we will be privileged to have the Dean Mr. Simon Robert and Dean Paul will be talking after him, but please give a round of applause to Mr. Srikanth. I was not very happy because I didn't give him much time. He couldn't change, he came straight from...
Actually, I feel so underdressed here because most of you are fashion designers, and I'm just coming from my office after meeting some of my colleagues who are all technical people they are all software architects. So excuse me if I'm underdressed and not as well dressed as Sia and the rest of you. But I was asked to speak to you about two topics. Number one, importance of higher education. And number two, entrepreneurship. So we're not talking politics today. How many of you actually want to be entrepreneurs and you're not already entrepreneurs? 1, 2, 3. Very good. And how many of you are actually from the fashion design? Fashion. Okay. Alright. So the good news for people who come from the fashion world and want to be entrepreneurs, I think is technology. Technology is changing. It's actually disrupting the way we live. My daughter, who's only 14 years old, she wants to be a fashion designer. But not only that, she wants to be an entrepreneur. And every weekend, she's calling the tailor home, that's her mom's tailor, and she's actually designing clothes. And she comes to me and she says, I want to sell them. And I ask her, how do you want to sell them? She says, you have an online e-commerce business. I want to put up my clothes there and I want to sell online. And she's only 14 years old. And mind you, if you want to be a billionaire now, you have to be less than 20 years old. If you look at all these guys who built Facebook and WhatsApp and all these companies. But anyway, that's for tech companies. So for all those who want to be entrepreneurs and you have fashion or design as your main, course of work or your profession, I think, well, there are many other platforms. You can simply sell your designs. You can actually make clothes and put them up with the retailers or tie up with other fashion designers. There are multiple options which are the typical, established, conventional, traditional models of business that our education system is not good. Indian education system, in my opinion, is very good, especially when you pursue your undergrad studies. In the schooling system, and particularly the masters and research programs, I think the Western and people like Narayana Murthy have been complaining that the products of IITs are not as good as they used to be. And probably there's some truth in it because the best of Indian faculty would also be teaching, and that is the reason you are here. I'm not, advertising or promoting UEL. This is the first time I'm meeting them too, but higher education, whether you choose to go to UEL or anywhere else in UEL.
So if you're looking for investor, I think he's the man. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we will have the two distinguished faculty from UK speaking, but before that, let me just introduce you to one person. It's about a month ago, I was reading the paper, and it said, the richest man of Hyderabad, and they put his picture in an article about him. He comes from the royal family, and he has connection both with His Exalted Highness, the Nizam of Hyderabad, and his father's side is also connected to the Turkish royal family, the last Khalifa of the Turkish. So, Prince, you can wave your hand, looking slightly nervous, so I don't know why.
We have some of our staff here from the school that I am the Dean of, is Arts and Digital Industries. So we have some of our staff here. We have Ed Gill, if you hand up. Ed runs head of graphic design. Vicky Fong from fashion. Sophie is a fashion student. Katie is somewhere, who's a graphic design student as well. Oh, there she is there. So what we're trying to do here for you tonight is put a little bit of East London into Hyderabad and see how you feel about that. I have to say, the meetings that we had today, and Paul's going to talk about them today, offer a fantastic opportunity for UEL and the school to be involved in a collaborative environment. And it was really interesting listening to you about entrepreneurship, because one of my key goals is to see people collaborate. and see students move globally as well. And I think that's very important, that it gives our students both in India and both in London and the UK the opportunity to move between continents and explore those business opportunities. So I welcome those discussions where we can have those that allow our students to have that experience, because it's all about the students' experience at the end of the day. So what I'm going to do now is the person I'm going to introduce, and she's going to talk a little bit, is Kashmira. And Kashmira is an alumni from UEL, and she's going to tell you about her story. But first of all, I want to welcome and give her an applause, please, for her collection that she's showing tonight. So, Kashmira, can you bring your models in, please?
Dream, you go to a country that you like, that you love now. I'll talk a bit about the collection and my inspiration and why did I choose to make it this way. So the inspiration about collection, it comes from London. The whole creativity that London can give you. All the challenges it could teach you, that comes with UL. great teachers, great facilities. We have laser cutting facilities that not every university has. We do have teachers been challenging us from the start, so I think that's like crucial really to create and build you as a strong designer. I'm coming from Bulgaria, and I've been studying fine art there, which I can totally tell you the difference. The difference is teachers and everyone in UL, what they gave me is like, they actually make me think. Before that, the way I was creating or I was designing was more just strict, focus, just follow, don't think, this is the rule. And that's what I would say like to everyone that wants to go and study somewhere, choose London, choose University of East London, because it's just the best. It's going to challenge you a lot, it's going to make you really, really creative. And it's going to give you good success. After graduating, I had a really, really good opportunity. I applied for a Vulcan Muse Talent Award, and I was really lucky. Actually, Sarah Maynard from Vogue Italy chose me as the actual winner. When I got the chance to actually create a whole new collection, which is going to be launched spring-summer now in September, and will be produced and sell in stores all around the world. So, yeah, thank you. It's been a pleasure being
and enjoy the costumes that Kashmira has made. But I would just say that the connection between Hyderabad, India and East London, I think, we would have to recognise, and some people might dispute this, but London is the creative capital of the world, and it's a fantastic place. It was very interesting. I don't listen to Radio 4, BBC Radio 4 very often, as you can probably tell, but Thomas Heatherwick, famous architect, was talking on the radio, and he was saying he loves London. And the reason he loves London is because he finds it so idiosyncratic that he can find anything in London. If you want to find a person that can do metalwork, if you want to find a person that do a costume for you, if you want to explore various cultures, if you want to go to a museum that's showing history of a certain costume, then you can do so. And so that's why London is such a rich cosmopolitan city. And I'm not from East London, I'm from the north of England, but actually living in London now, it's actually a fantastic city to explore, and to allow students that opportunity to explore. And that's sometimes difficult because you're probably aware that London is quite an expensive city. But one of the advantages that we have is a campus, and that campus allows students to stay there, and be safe in that environment. So that's very important to us, that students have an experience that allows them to explore London, but in a safe way. So what I'd like you to do now, I guess, I'm going to hand back, but I would like you to begin to have conversations about, with our staff, with our students, about how you might have an opportunity to visit London or explore further opportunities for ourselves to explore Hyderabad, because we've been here for a very few days, and I know we've just touched the surface of Hyderabad, and I would like to understand much more about the culture of Hyderabad. What drives the city, what drives students, what drives the next talent that's coming out of Hyderabad. And hopefully we can help you nurture that talent into something that creates another Kashmira for you. Because that's what we want to do, is create great talent. So thank you very much for coming tonight, and I hope you enjoy yourselves.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you very much. I think probably it's the most dangerous place to stand when you have 4 models behind you and your wife sitting right in front of you. And I'm not sure what's going to happen. Try to. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure and honor to be here today, and it's just amazing that we have got one of the best brains coming to Hyderabad. And it was a great thing for me yesterday when we were with Deputy Chief Minister, and we went to him to meet for a courtesy hello for 10 minutes, and he wouldn't let us go. And it was just amazing to have this response. I think it's incredible. I would like to request Professor Nora Ann Colton to please come over here. And I would also like to request Prince Nora Ann Colton to present a moment of respect to Mr. Srikant Pallam Reddy for taking time and coming over here. Mr. Srikant Pallam Reddy.
May I request all the distinguished Dean, Mr. Simon.
Would you like to come over? Sir? Sophie, Katie, Paul, Kashmira. Sorry, excuse, Kashmira. Would you like to come over? Paul.
My name is Ed Gill. I'm a senior lecturer in graphic design at the University of East London. I'm over here with colleagues and students to do workshops.
And we had an amazing event when we had a chance to showcase so it's amazing experience being here, to be honest. It's like the culture. We've been to the temple yesterday. It's amazing experience. We have seen some students today actually giving them a workshop. University. And students are brilliant Indian students, so we hope to get more
You're on TV. बड़े एजाज़ की बात है कि हैदराबाद में पहली बार मुख्तलिफ यूनिवर्सिटी के डीन हैदराबाद में आए हुए हैं। उसमें से खुसूसन जो फैशन से रिलेटेड प्रोफेसर थे वो यहाँ पे आके वर्कशॉप किया उन्होंने कि किस तरह से आप अपने प्रोडक्ट्स को दुनिया भर में फैला सकते हैं और कंटेम्प्रेरी फैशन क्या है। एक अच्छी बात यह है कि मैं मुबारकबाद देना चाहूँगा हमारे डिप्टी सी महमूद अली साहब को, जिनकी कोशिश की वजह से सारे लोग यहाँ पे आए हैं और ये कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा स्कॉलरशिप मिले हमारी कौम के बच्चे और लड़कियों को यूके जाके फैशन इंडस्ट्री में काम करना चाहिए। अमूमन ये देखा गया है कि हमारे ओल्ड सिटी में ऐसी लड़कियाँ हैं जो कारचून का काम करती हैं, उनको सिलाई में बहुत ज़्यादा उबूर है, लेकिन उनको पता नहीं है कि उन कपड़ों को किस तरह से एक्सपोर्ट करें। तो मैं समझता हूँ ये वर्कशॉप आज जो हुआ है बहुत अच्छा है, इसमें काफ़ी लोग आए हैं, बड़ी खुशी और इजाज़त की बात है। फिल वक्त अगर आप यहाँ से देखें तो तकरीबन 5 कंट्रीज से मुख्तलिफ कंट्रीज से लोग आए हुए हैं। अमेरिका से है, यूनाइटेड किंगडम से है, फ्रांस से है, अमेरिका से है, तो काफ़ी जगहों से बहुत प्रोमिनेंट लोग हैं। ऑक्सफोर्ड यूनिवर्सिटी के प्रोफेसर हैं, वर्ल्ड रेनाउंड इकोनॉमिस्ट हैं, प्रोफेसर नोरा एंड गॉल्टन वर्ल्ड रेनाउंड मिडल ईस्ट एक्सपर्ट है इकोनॉमिस्ट। मैं यहाँ पे मुझको इस चीज़ देख के ये खुशी हुई कि तेलंगाना बनने के बाद ये पहला इवेंट है कि जहाँ पे इतने सारे एकेडमिक्स आए हैं सब मिल के बहुत अच्छी खुशी की बात है। ये हैदराबाद में पहली
I teach across fashion design, fashion textiles, fashion marketing. We've had this great opportunity to be invited to India to showcase our talented students' work. India's been amazing. It's been very hospitable, very generous, and we've learned everything from British culture. I hope that the visitors and the
Hyderabad. I think India can often be seen as a country that isn't. I think it's fantastic. I think it's fantastic to mix with people and culture. I'm really excited about it. I think more than other places. I mean, I've been to Singapore, I've been to China,